Over on Channel 4 now, they're reaching stage 21 and a vicious climb from Saint-Etienne to Clermont-Ferrand in the Tour de France 1986. Back here in England, Pete Barraclough about to preview South West sporting events in this week's Sports Week.
In tonight's programme, cruising with the sail canoes, afloat with the Ospreys, our look ahead to a sailing double in the southwest. Wheel to wheel with the Warriors, the Weymouth Speedway team cycling for success. Ankles away, Argyle open up with a promise of new faces at home park. And 30 years on, Jeff Duke rides again. Hello again, the end of another sporting week, August just round the corner, and with it a change in the sporting seasons. We turn now to the demands of the dirt track. It's turning out to be a great season for the Weymouth Warriors Cycle Speedway team. They're currently high in the Southern Division and still climbing. As Rod Holmes reports, they're right on course to take the title after being pipped at the post last year by Bristol St George.
You're under starters, orders.
Tension mounts at the tapes. 23-year-old Martin Hepworth, an experienced international, puts everything into a fast start for Weymouth, now in their 8th season and going for the leadership of the British League. An electrician by trade, Martin has led the pack for England in the last couple of seasons on the home circuit, as performance in cycle speedway, both at home and abroad, continues to lift. The Warriors have been battling through the 16 matches in the league. This clash against the weaker Swindon Monarchs proved a runaway victory with a massive final score which put them 56 points ahead.
There's 18 heats in the race, 2 riders per team, and the scoring system is 4-3-2-1. Obviously first over the line, scoring most points. Riders that get excluded or fail to finish, then they fail to score.
It seems very much like motorcycle speedway. Are the two sports almost identical?
When cycle speedway first started up, the idea came from the speedway, but this cycle speedway's been going for something like 40 years now, and in that time the sport's developed its own identity.
And the sport certainly has its share of spills. Andy Warren has to be carried off after a crash on the first bend.
Starters, orders.
But the riders are well used to the blocking tactics which sometimes end in accidents. Riders can begin to race at 12, but real competitive strength comes 3 or 4 years later. Martin Hepworth is now in full preparation for our home internationals.
Yes, been training very hard, in fact. I like to think that I like to start off slowly and then build myself up to a crescendo when it comes to the British Finals weekend, which is Bank Holiday August.
And what does that training involve? Purely cycling?
Yes, mainly cycling. That's all it really boils down to. We can only train on a track. You can go out on the road on a push bike, but it does help a lot to be actually doing cycle speed. That is where the main basis of training is.
Let's chat about the bike just for a minute. How does it differ from, say, a road race bike or indeed an ordinary pedal cycle that somebody may ride around at home?
Well, the frame is obviously different. We've got straight forks here to handle the corners better. It gives you a lot more steering manoeuvrability. It helps you around the corners. The frame is actually built of a very strong tubing, and you've got a single sprocket here, where it's not fixed wheel or anything, and you've got a certain gearing for certain tracks.
And no brakes or gears, of course.
No brakes or gears, because in cycle speedway that is very dangerous. It is in fact illegal in cycle speedway to have anything protruding off your bike. Now, there is a lot of tactics in cycle speedway racing. In the individual it's more hell for leather, but in team racing it is very tactical. Yes, team riding is essential in team matches.
So you'll consider blocking, things like that?
To a certain extent, yes, blocking. But it is very fast indeed when you get on the track.
So well done to the Warriors. I'm sure they'll take that Southern League title. Coming up later, all the week's news in Sports Talk, and we'll be meeting that living legend, Jeff Duke. We'll be right back.